Welcome to the Business Spotlight podcast. My name is David Beeson. I am your host for today's conversation, and my guest today is Mark Troiano, the co-founder at TraceBill. We are going to be talking about his business, journey to business ownership, challenges, best practices, and share a peek of what it's really like to build and operate a business. Mark, welcome to the show, and thank you for being here today. I would love for you to give us a little bit of background of who you are and tell us a little bit about your business as well.
Hey David, thanks for having me. So Mark Troiano, I have been in the logistics world for the past about 6 years now, coming on 6 years, and I you know worked as a freight broker for the past five and a half, and that's where I really kind of learned the ins and outs of the industry and decided to take a leap and start TraceBill, which is specific software for the logistics industry. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm a tennis player.
Awesome.
Like to be super active and travel a good bit. I'm in Hawaii for my friend's wedding, so that's a little bit of background about me.
Yeah, it's awesome. How long have you been playing tennis for?
I've been playing tennis since I mean, as long as I can remember, but started taking it seriously at like 11 or 12.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never played tennis, but I'm very big into golf. I've been playing golf since I was like four, so I've been playing
Awesome.
golf forever. So very different sports, but also like they're both at the country clubs and things like that. So
Definitely. I think I mean, I love golf. I think a lot of there's a lot of crossover between
yeah,
both, like they both sports like to play each other's sports. Big mental games.
yes, very big mental games. I played a little bit of pickleball, never played tennis, but pickleball's been coming up a lot in the most recent years and stuff, and it's
Yeah.
fun. I think it's a little too much for me with all the different rules and stuff. I feel like tennis would be a little bit more fun if I actually gave it a try, just because there's less like at least from what I've seen from people that play tennis, and I'm a big movie guy, so that movie Challengers came out last year, and I watched that, and it was really good. And
Yeah.
um, the it just seems like there's less rules whenever it comes to tennis than pickleball. Where with pickleball, it's like, oh, you got to hit the ball here, so then that way it hits here, so that way you get a point. And it's like a
Yes.
little much for me.
It's something crazy. Like if you look up tennis and in around the rules, it's like there's been like seven changes in the past like hundreds of years. Like there's very little changes in the rules and there's not many.
Yeah,
Um and so I think it's cool. It's like it's lived for so long and it's such a great sport. So and it's great around like the community around it as well. So
yeah, that's awesome. Well, kind of going
yeah.
back to your business, generally speaking, just kind of setting the stage for the viewers and listeners. What's your current ownership structure like? I know you said that you're a co-founder. How many founders are there? Do y'all have outside investors?
Yeah, so current ownership right now is myself, my other partner Suk, and then Kayvon. There's three of us, and Suk and I have a background in the logistics world. He was one of my carriers when I was a broker, and we were discussing the inefficiencies in the industry, and that's why we decided to take the leap and start TraceBill. And then Kayvon, he came into the picture a little bit later, and he has experience around the startup world um, and developing product, and he's helped us streamline it and give us great ideas. Um, and so yeah, it's just us three, and there's zero outside investing right now. It's just all of our. I mean, I worked for 18 over 18 months because I we had the plan set, and I
Yeah.
just try to stack up as much money as possible so we could attack the business and get it going, because it takes a lot of work just to get that revenue going.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know
Yeah.
if anyone's told you this, but you do not have like the broker vibe. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've heard that before, but you sound like a very like athletic, kind of chill guy. And I feel like a lot of people, whenever they imagine brokers, your face isn't what comes up.
Yeah, I mean, it's you can thrive as a broker if there's a few qualities. I mean, you have to do the work. Usually um you find like a niche, a specific niche. A lot of guys, it's just they're reefer, which is like the refrigerated trucks, or
Yeah.
dry vans or partials, stuff like that. So if you learn how to manage that, and then it's just relationships, really. I mean, that's why like my partner Suk was is one of my carriers. We got connected through a customer rep at Arrive, and he's like, I think you two would get along, and then him and I are business partners now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's so cool how that worked.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what role you currently play in the business. Like what's a day in the life of Mark?
Yeah, day in the life right now. I mean, I would say like as far as title, I mean, I would be considered like the CEO, like kind of driving the engine behind it. And like what that entails is, you know, outreach, just as much outreach, as much conversations as possible, with potential customers, cold calling, trying to get like 20, 30 cold calls a day, follow-up emails,
Yeah.
on LinkedIn, sending messages over there. So, I mean, I think the coolest thing about it is just when we took the leap and started doing this, it's like I actually love that. It's very natural to me to, go out and have these conversations and build and create that community or that network, organically. And I think like LinkedIn, for example, is a phenomenal tool, for people to use to get out there and spread what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Um, so whenever you look at your role, how many hours do you say you spend working in your business, so like the job itself, and how many would you say on the business strategy planning, like per week?
Oh, I mean, promise you, it's like the other night, for example, it was like 9 p.m. and working on some of the messaging on the website, for example, and to just get the point across, right? And so people would consider that working, I guess, on it, but it's always constant, it's sifting through how
Yeah.
to, um, be more effective, be a better communicator. How is your messaging? Am I following up with the correct people? So, I mean, I promise you, like most conversations, aside from like my family and then like a few of my like very close friends, it's like straight up Traceville, thinking about it.
Yeah.
And like, obviously I gotta, eat and work out and sleep, but all that stuff is centered around, being more effective.
Hmm.
Yeah, or for Traceville. So, I mean, it's a tough answer. I would say like easily 50, 60 hours a week
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Traceville.
Yeah. And this is something I always like to ask to follow up. Does it feel like 50 to 60 though? Like do you
No.
like even though you're working 50 to 60, does it even does it feel like that, you know?
No, I mean, I think in a great example of that is like cold calling.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of people, a lot of young people, for example, they may feel like um, I don't know, perturbed around or like scared to do cold calling. But for me, it's kind of like a joy. It's like it's a way to educate people about what we're trying to do. And I
Yeah.
think, 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10 will answer the phone call. One will be like, "Hey, no, I'm good, hang up." But one you'll catch and you'll have a genuine conversation. You're like, "Hey, this is what we're trying to do," and they get it. They understand kind
Yeah.
of the value of the product and what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
So I think yeah, it's not like working at all.
Yeah, I used to be that way whenever I was younger, but then I did door-to-door sales for like 8 months to a
Hmm.
year, somewhere in that area. And now it's made
Hmm.
cold calling like, oh, that's way easier. Like I could do cold calling
Yeah.
any day now compared to like wanting to go knock someone's door and be worried at like how mad they're gonna be that I'm knocking on their
But
door. So,
yeah, I think like yeah, that's like a great example because it's like you understand the leverage of it. So it's
hmm.
like to do door to door, you literally have to walk like, and that's so much energy to
Yeah.
each and every door, and then you got to have those face to face interactions where you're sitting at home or at the office, you can knock out 100 calls, and that leverage is so much more, and
Hmm.
then think about, if you have really good like marketing or you're using the tools such as like LinkedIn, or sending emails. It's just like it just compounds.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. Um, so I'm curious, why did y'all choose to go into business for yourselves as opposed to, like continuing to work where you were working, and what was the transition like for you guys?
Yeah, I think so. Like, honestly, all three of us, we kind of have this drive to create and to kind of strike out on our own. Like that, I guess you could say like American dream in a way.
Yeah,
But like Sook and even Kayvon, like they come from a family of entrepreneurs. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. You know, my my grandpa, my cousins, and all of them, they're kind of pushing their dream, and some of my best friends too. So that's really why it's we've decided to do that. And I think it's there's um no other choice. And for example, Sook is from Punjab, India. So like I don't know, it's interesting to see the Punjabi community come here to the United States, and they're here hustling. They're in
yeah,
hotels, they're in trucking, restaurants. And they're building a life here, and that's inspiring. So that is just it was always a part of the conversations that Suk and I had at the very beginning. We were like, let's do our own business. It got us fired up.
yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. So, um, if who primarily does your business serve? Like, if I were in the audience, how would I know if I was a good fit for your product and service?
I think it it serves a few people. I mean, like a customer, for example, such as let's just say like I wish they were a customer like Hewlett Packard, right?
Yeah,
Like they want to know when that product was delivered, at what time, when it was picked up, when it was delivered, get the paperwork so that they can start the whole invoicing process. Just close the books on one load, for example, and they're moving thousands of loads.
yeah,
So imagine 10% of the loads are backed up because there's no paperwork. So our whole idea is like, hey, let's just like streamline this entire process and give everybody access to the paperwork immediately. It's like when you go to a restaurant, and they're using those portable tablets now, and you just pay with
hmm,
it. It's like fundamentally, like that's kind of what we are. It's like you paperwork just once that load is delivered, there's access. It serves carriers to a certain extent. Drivers when they pick up a load. Like this is how the industry works right now. You go pick up a load, um like I'm the shipper, I load your truck, I print this paperwork and I hand it to you, and then for me being the broker, being the middleman, you have to take a photo on your phone and then email it to the broker. Just, okay, that's loaded, I know what's in that truck. Well, why just not take that away from the driver? All he has to do is get it sent to his phone, digitally sign it, and then give access to all the stakeholders.
yeah,
So I mean, there's like we think it serves a lot a lot of potential people in the market. So
yeah, yeah. No, makes sense. So what makes your business unique? Like, how do y'all communicate how you stand out against the competition?
I think what makes us unique is we're like, I mean, the truly like digital solution, paperwork
Yeah.
solution. Um, as well, I think the way that, I mean, we API into specific software. It's not any new crazy software that's going to be that you have to learn and implement. It's pretty easy.
Hmm.
It goes alongside your existing processes,
Oh, that's awesome.
which we think is like a little bit. We do think that's unique. I think when you come and you speak to a potential customer, and they're nervous around the reality of, oh gosh, like I gotta learn all this. It's gonna be a lot, that's stressful. Now I gotta teach my team how to do it. It's like, look, it's actually not that hard, but that's a part of sales. That's a
Yeah.
part of educating, and being like, hey, this is gonna fundamentally like make your um your business better.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Kind of switching over into marketing. So I have a big background in marketing. I went to school for marketing and film and TV production. So I kind of blend the two, and I do a lot of video marketing for people here in
very cool.
Austin. So I'm curious always what successful businesses are doing. What kind of different marketing strategies do y'all have in place right now?
Yeah, right now, I mean, I think my LinkedIn doing this concept of a founder building in public.
Hmm.
It's kind of like this arc or narrative that has served other businesses, startups in the like even
Yeah.
recently. Like I'm pretty sure the founders of Lovable, right? That
Hmm.
it's like the AI, it helps code, like vibe coding website. Um they did that. They did building in public, and they're like CTO, I think their CMO and their CEO all at the same time posting, building this from the ground up. I
Yeah.
think that's kind of a marketing strategy that we're using. And then as well, I mean, I think cold calling is a form of marketing, just to get out there. And then
Yeah.
lastly, just word of mouth. But marketing is definitely a it's very useful if you lock it down, and do a great job to bring
Yeah.
that inbound. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, it makes sense. I have like I always tell people that I work with or like potential clients and things like that. I think like marketing comes down to like a three-step plan that's always good to have, where it's like
Mm-hmm.
step one is network and outreach, like just
Yeah,
building some sort of network around you, people that can vouch for you, and you can go to these networking events and people can be like, "Oh yeah, no, Mark, his company's great. You should talk with Mark. Like he can help you guys a lot." And then step
exactly.
two is that LinkedIn profile is really building
Hmm.
up the LinkedIn, so in that way the network isn't just organic anymore. Now it's on the social side. And then step
Yeah,
three is always the video marketing, which is paid advertisements or making ads, like more organic style content for yourself on like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. That's always
definitely.
like I say the three-step plan that I tell almost every business you should do is like make sure you have step one done before you go to step two, and then once you have step two done, then you go to step three, and then you kind of go that way. So I'm happy to hear that that's kind of the what you've been doing.
Yeah, and I think like using the social media, I mean, it's insane how much, it's at everybody's fingertips. And
Hmm.
I think with effort, then there'll be rewards.
Yep.
And so it's just that it's so cool. It's democratized, like it's made
Yeah.
businesses more like open to create business. So it's so cool.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely. Kind of like switching up into team building and stuff. How big is y'all's team? Is it just you three, or do y'all have some employees?
Yeah, it's just us three right now. My brother is an advisor. He's a director of sales over at a big cybersecurity company. So, we ask him for assistance in how to, communicate with emails, follow-up, stuff like that, just coaching in that essence. But yeah, it's just Sue, Kayvon, and I at the present moment.
Gotcha, gotcha. Are y'all looking to expand the team in the coming year at all, or just kind of like seeing how this year goes?
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as once it starts scaling, there's so many nuances that
Yeah,
become apparent, like customer support, stuff like that. I mean, it goes on and on. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely in the playbook as we expand.
awesome, awesome. Well, kind of, I think we can go to a couple rapid fire questions if you're ready.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
What's the key to success to you?
The key to success. I think being healthy, being healthy and happy, and good family. So I think just having that in line, and then being able to pursue your dreams. So that's the key to success. Being healthy and happy with good network, and then because that's the best part of it, and then go after your dreams.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's a
Yeah,
piece of advice you have to other business owners?
I think To other business owners, I mean, I think I'm happy that they're doing it in the first place,
Yeah.
going after their dream. But I would say, the conversations, continue having conversations, and you don't know where they'll lead.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. What's a good book or podcast you're reading or listening to right now? It can be fiction, it can be nonfiction.
I'm actually doing a little book club with one of my best friends, and we're reading Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy. He wrote like No Country for Old Men,
Oh yeah.
and oh yeah, I mean that's a classic. That in this book is one of his classics as well, and it's insane how great of a writer he is. You have to be very present with the reading,
Yeah.
and so that's good. And I'm also reading the Success Principles by Jack Canfield. It's kind of the stuff that you hear all the time, but he has really good anecdotes,
Yeah.
and it's just so inspiring. I really recommend that book to all the
Awesome.
listeners.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. I'm currently on a fiction kick right now, kind of putting down the nonfiction for a little bit because I'm like
Nice,
I want to take reading back for myself rather than making it more about work, you know? So it's like I really want to make
definitely.
like, read in the morning whenever I wake up or read at night before I go to bed and just get to enjoy a novel. So I've been reading it's a sci-fi fantasy series called Red Rising and it's
Dude, I was literally about
amazing.
to ask that. Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I just finished the third book. I'm going into the fourth book. I think I'm going to start it today. It's
Dude,
amazing.
that's
I don't know if
awesome.
you've checked them out, but they're so good.
I listened to the audiobook, the first part of the first book.
Yeah.
So he was starting to like be a part of that, like, I don't know, that superior race or whatever, the
Yeah.
gold or something, right?
Yeah, the golds, yeah.
The golds, and then I didn't continue it, but
Yeah.
it's good.
I recommend continuing it. The second book specifically is like probably my favorite book I've ever read now. I love the second
That's
book.
awesome.
Golden Sun is what it's called. It's so good.
That's
Um
awesome.
I'm big into sci-fi though and fantasy. I'm a big Star Wars. If this was unblurred, you'd see like all my Star Wars collection stuff over here. So I'm a big like sci-fi nerd. So it's
Dude, do you get like do you have any like my one of my best friends, Sky, he lives in Austin as well. He's a big sci-fi guy as well.
yeah.
And he's like a part of like email like in communities. I'll ask him and I'll send it to you.
Yes,
I'll see
please
what it
do.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I've heard of like some communities and stuff that are out here, but I haven't gone to any of them. But I've heard of them, and I would definitely go. It sounds awesome.
Dude, it's the collaboration from what I understand is really cool. So
Yeah. This is kind of a fun question that I always love to ask. If you had a little bit of magic dust and you could sprinkle it in one spot in your business, everything there would be perfect. Where would it be and why?
I think it's around uh I mean, product is probably number one.
Yeah.
You don't want it to ever be fail.
Yeah.
Um, and I think as we gain more customers, having that making the product like basically perfect and run so that they feel refreshed after the experience, after the service rather than like this is not good. So yeah, I would say the product for sure.
Yeah.
Just being 100% on point. It's like going to a really good restaurant and getting like an amazing meal and you're like, oh, I want to go back.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Um, well, before we get to the final question of the day, would you like to share with our audience how they can follow you, learn more, contact you guys?
Yeah, I think right now LinkedIn is the best. Mark Troiano. And then my email is mark@tracebill.com if anybody wants to, reach out via email. And yeah, I mean, I'm on those channels all the time. So, yeah,
Awesome. Well, we've come to the final question of the day, and that is what is most inspiring to you today?
I think some of my friends, you know, going after their businesses, their dreams, and you know, the guy, my friend that's doing the I'm doing the book club with, he was a corporate lawyer, like amazing job, great income, steady lifestyle, but had this dream to be in the film industry.
Yeah.
So he's now writing, and he's a grip, you know, working on sets all the time, helping out and learning that industry. It's like that's so inspiring, you know, it's so cool. And it, you know, all of us we're going after what we truly want. So
Yeah.
and I think that that community of people surrounding yourself by, it's so true, you know, just if you're surrounded by people that are going after their dreams, you're probably going to go after your dreams too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I yeah, I also work in the film industry. I just worked on a feature film actually this last December.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, I went to school for film and marketing, so it's like the film side where like I get to go work on sets. I try to do that when I can. I want to do it more, hopefully, but yeah, I love working in the film industry too. So hopefully, I could connect with your friend someday. That'd be cool.
Definitely. Yeah, yeah. We'll set that up for sure.
Yeah, well, this was an awesome conversation. I just want to say thank you so much for sharing. And I just encourage all of you guys watching to save the show and come back and watch it again because Mark really did have some great insights for business. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so we can get notifications every time a new conversation drops, just like this one. Thank you to everyone who joined us today. Special thanks to you, Mark, for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, David.
I will see you all in the next episode.